Hello. In this short session, we're going to work on releasing the lower back as well as strengthening those deep core muscles that help support our lower back. So ideally, get a ball is a perfect thing, but if not, use some cushions, use a pillow, just something to put underneath your pelvis. And we're going to lie down. So lying down on your back, just check in with the position that you're in. So we want to have the feet shoulder distance apart, so about a fist distance between the legs are bent, chin down towards the chest to lengthen the back of the neck. Put your ball or cushion under your pelvis, so squeeze the bottom muscles first, lift up, and then place the ball underneath the pelvis. So we don't want to have anything under the lower back, so we want the pelvis to be up so the lower back can sink down towards the floor. And let's just have a check of the position of the pelvis. So the two bony parts at the fronts of your hips, place the heel of the hands on them, and your fingertips are on your pubic bone. So your hands are in this triangular position. So we want to make sure that our pubic bone is higher than the hips, so our fingertips are higher than the heel of the hands. And then from there, just start to gently curl the pelvis so the pubic bone's even higher, the fingertips are even higher than the heel of the hands, and then just release it a little bit. And again, so we're not actually lifting the bottom, we're just getting that movement in the pelvis. Your spine connects to the pelvis, so each time you tilt the pelvis, it's going to open up that lower back. But remember, as always, listen to your body. Never ever work through pain. If you feel any discomfort, make the movement smaller. Always work in a pain-free range. So let's do a couple more here. So you're curling that pubic bone, and then you're going to release it. And again, curling the pelvis, the pubic bone higher than the hips, and then release. We're going to do one more here, and we're going to stay in this position. So again, we're just checking that our fingertips are higher than the heel of the hands, our pubic bone is higher than the hips, and then your arms down on the floor. And just visualize that lower back as if you were lying on a hammock and it's sinking down. And take a breath in through your nose, and then just let the breath out, just release. And again, taking that breath in, and then just letting the breath out, let the lower back release. Now, the next time we breathe out, we're going to activate that deep muscle that wraps across the lower back, around the sides of the waist and into the belly button. So we're going to imagine you're tightening a belt. So take a breath in. Now, as you let the breath out, the next time, tighten that belt. So draw your belly button in towards your spine, and then just release it, switch it off. And let's try that again. Take a breath in. And then as you let the breath out, you're tightening the belt, you're drawing the belly button in, and then release it, switch it off. Now keep practicing, so get used to the feeling of that muscle switching on, but then also notice when it switches off. In through the nose. On your out breath, switch it on, draw your belly button in towards your spine, engage that deep muscle, and then relax it, switch it off. Now the next time we switch it on, we're going to keep it switched on. So take a breath in, and then as you let the breath out, tighten the belt, draw your belly button in. Now we want to keep this switched on, and we're going to challenge that muscle. So the back stays still, that belt is pulled tight, and you're going to just pick the right leg up to a tabletop position. So your knee is above the hip, the shin is parallel to the ceiling, we've still got that core activated, and then you're just going to place the right foot on the floor, but really focusing on that belt, engaged, and then let's change and do the other leg. It lifts up, and then as it lowers, you're focusing on that belt, it's pulled tight. And again, now keep going. If you notice that your core switches off, then start again, take a few moments, do the breath work and switch it on. Now keep this going. So this is your first version of this movement. If you want more challenge and you can keep the core activated throughout, then lift one leg and then add the other leg lifting up, and then slowly one leg lowers. And remember, everything is coming from the core. That's your focus here. And then let your other leg lower. So you're breathing in as one leg comes to tabletop, and then as you breathe out, the other leg lifts up. You've got that belt, pull tight, engage. Your lower back isn't doing any movement. And then let the other leg lower down. And again, breathing in as one leg comes up. Now, as you breathe out, as you force the breath out, that activates that deep muscle even more. And then let it lower and down. And then maybe try with your other leg leading first. One leg comes up. Breathing out, tightening the belt, the other leg lifts. Let your leg lower. Remember, as it gets closer to the floor, that's the challenging part of the movement. That's when we've got to really activate even more. And let the other leg lower. And again. And then you're going to bring the leg up. And then as the leg lowers, you tighten that belt even more. And then the other leg lowers. If you want even more of a challenge, remember, build up to this. So the next level of this movement is one leg lowers, but it doesn't touch the floor, it hovers off the floor. And you focus once again, is that core still switched on? Is that belt still pulled tight? And then you bring that leg up. Then you let the other leg lower. The lower it is to the floor, the more challenging it is to keep the core activated. Bring it back up. And again. So doing these movements twice a day, it's going to get the mobility in the lower back. It's going to release the lower back. It's going to activate these core muscles. But listen to your body. Stop when you need to. And when you're done, bring the knees in as close as you can. Wrap the hands around the legs and pulling the knees in. And relax, switch off those muscles and take a breath in. And then just letting that breath out. And again, in through the nose. And then just letting that breath out. And one more time, breathing in. And then you're going to let that breath out. Take as long as you need to. When you're done, place one foot down on the floor. Place the other foot down on the floor. Again, you're on that hammock, that lower back's just hanging down there. But let's activate the glutes now. Squeeze the bottom muscles. And then just release. You're not lifting the bottom, we just want to switch them on. So see if you get that feedback with the ball or cushion or whatever you've got underneath the bottom. Notice if they squeeze, and then just let them relax. Now the next time you squeeze them, take away the pressure from the ball. And then as you relax, sink right back down into that ball. And again, squeezing the bottom and lift, but then release as you sink back down. And again, two more, switch those muscles on, lifting up, and then release them as you sink back down. One more time, switch on the muscles, squeeze the bottom, lift up. Now keep the bottom up. Move your ball or your cushion away, the bottom stays up. Now curling that pelvis like you did before, so pubic bone higher than your hips, and just slowly feel the spine lower down. Slowly keep curling the pelvis. You want to get into that lower back all the way down, and then just feel the pelvis sinking down towards the floor. And then bring the legs together, roll on your side, push yourself up. So hope that's been helpful, just getting a little bit of movement and releasing the lower back and then strengthening all the muscles. So watch for the next videos for more movements.